Hello dear viewer, I am leesusss and welcome back to Infinifactory, and we're going to be making this thing here, Terrestrial Surveyor. We'll see how I get on. I'm actually quite tired and I'm drinking a beer, so it might not be the most intellectual breakdown and construction of a device so far. But there you go, Dave's here. You going to help us out, Dave?
This is it, your big moment.
Thanks, Dave. That's what the help he's going to give us. What do you actually do around here, Dave? I mean, you just sort of stand around. I presume you're helping in some way, but there we go. Anyway, this is the output. What we need to make. Let's go and see the input. I've messed around with this one a little bit already, so we've got some stuff in here, but we won't actually be using this. But first, a little look around in here. Must be some sort of factory. And unfortunately, we have got a bunch of dead aliens around here. These are the, unless you haven't seen these are the what these guys refer to as the toads, the overlords, the guys who kidnapped us. I strongly suspect these guys are just a bunch of technicians. But there you go. Unfortunately, in an uprising, this guy hasn't even got any blood in him. In an uprising against the oppressors, unfortunately, some deaths are going to happen, presumably by these fellas over here. I'm also wondering that this might be a big event, really. I mean, I don't suppose this lot do much killing unless they really have to. Not very chatty, are you, guy? So possibly this is a big risk for the organisation. They've got me as the thing going to be getting break in, but I don't think they'd have done this unless they really thought there was a chance of success. This is possibly a really big risk. I should think that the overlords really stamp down hard on anything like this going on. Individual people getting killed. But there you go. By the way, it's a dispenser apparently, like food dispenser. We've got whale and gopher things. Remember those? Yeah. There we go. By the way, although they're kind of disgusting foods, think about this today. Possibly less disgusting than the sort of some of the processed foods we eat, like the minced up, mechanically reclaimed chicken and the rest of it that we eat sometimes, and burgers. Anyway, here's a production system. So this unit here is kind of similar to the last thing we did. The base of this was a 3x3, wasn't it? So I did originally consider it like that I could maybe eat away at it like I did the last thing, and then do that. But the problem is here. Bear in mind I hadn't played this for a while. I remembered that this is the problem here, this thing here. The welding systems that allow you to rejoin blocks don't work well when you've got a unit in the middle of another unit. Okay, if this was here, standing up straight, it would be fine. But the fact it's in the centre means I can't simply chop this to pieces and then rebuild it. I really need to have this T-shape here, this middle T-shape, as an individual item, reassemble it, and then join it to these, is what I need to do. Okay, so what I was thinking of here was, get this running over here, here comes one. The plan is probably to break down the into three parts. So in this case we're going to do the conveyor belt, the tracks. In fact, this is the wrong one. This is the original one I was thinking of, like that. There we go. Break it down in a spiral. That won't really work. It would work with an assembly, but it would make a very complicated reassembly at the other end. Also, there isn't much of a gap between this and this. We can slow this down, but just to say that I don't usually do that. There's not much of a gap between these two objects coming through. Anyway, let us go to one of the other. I've been playing around with this a little bit. Let's go to one of the other ones that I've been working on. One of the other versions I've been working on. So this one here does more what I'd pretty prefer to do, which is breaking down. I think I'll go for the middle first on this one. Yeah, so take down the middle first, and then the two tracks. Okay, and there's not a lot of gap again between these two things coming through. Let's go to the other side. So when we get over here, I've already started to build part of the reassembly part. The idea is that I will have one track for assembling the middle T-shaped piece with the projector on top, the little unit on top of it, and then I'll have one assembly point for the tracks. So now I've done this before, so I know roughly how to do. I'm pushing the wrong button here. I know roughly how to do the reassembly of the middle piece. So here's the components of the middle piece, and what you do is you just let it sort of tumble down. Wait for it. Now, this block here is going to fall down and do the last bit, it triggers two things by going past this sensor. One, it pushes out a welder on a piston that would normally be in the way. If this was projected earlier, it would be in the way and cause miswelding. But also, oh, it's not triggering that actually. It's missing something. Hold on one second. It needs to do two things. Okay, hold on one second. So that triggers that. So this also needs to trigger. Is that going to work actually? Hold on one second. I thought I got this set up, but then I deleted some bits and pieces. Maybe I've got it wrong. Okay, so no, it is going to work. No, it isn't going to work. This is pushing it forward. Okay. What I need to do is have something trigger. Hold on a second. I need to redirect those pieces. Actually, let's do that first. Right. We need something to redirect the tracks coming through. So what I'm going to do is put down. This will probably be in the right place. A sensor block, not there, but there. Okay. And I'm going to use my favourite new tool. Actually, which way shall I push this? So I need to push the tracks off one direction. I'll probably don't hit the microphone, me. Come on. Don't spin that around either, you goddamn idiot. What's wrong with you? You have one beer and this is what you like, is it? Let's put one of these down here. And what I'm going to use is a piston. My favourite new trick is this what this is. But I've got to get it right. A piston with an upside down conveyor belt. These are fairly new. I haven't had these until very recently in the game. But they work exactly the same as these, but they work from the top. And the trick here is as soon as this sensor gets triggered, this pushes out and then redirects the tracks coming out over this way. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. But these are a bit tricky actually. This looks like it should obviously work, but it might not. 1 second. It does. Okay. The reason why I'm worried about it not working is if I just do this. Let's see if I can make it not work. Sometimes the pistons don't work if there's something alongside them. Don't really know why. Hold on 1 second. There. This did not get pushed out. And the only thing that's different here is this object here. Why this is stopping this from coming out? Ah, I know why that's stopping it. Okay. As far as the game is concerned, this is connected to this. So this can no longer be pushed outwards because it's connected to here, and this is connected to a stationary object. Okay, I was wondering why it wasn't working. But okay, so, in theory, that should now hold all those outwards. I don't think this is going to be running long enough, is it? I need one of the sensors down here. This sensor is not going to be here long enough. This is only going to hold off the first track. So, two ways of doing this. Okay, that'll do for now, I think, just to cause a delay. We'll sort this out in a minute. What I need, though, is a sensor. One of these sensors needs to be... Okay, something needs to push this lot this way. There's another way of doing this. Give me a second. I've run into a number of minutes problems with this. Or rather, I've been spending a number of minutes trying to solve the issue here. And I found the issue with I found the problem. I think I found the problem is what I've done here. And it occurred back at the start here with this king coming through here. Now remember before what was happening was the middle section was being depleted, and this is the second to last piece and this is the last piece or something similar like that. Okay, and that was causing me problems with the reassembly. So what I've done is a simple process here where at this point here This piston kicks it backwards, and that means the sensor's the very last thing to go through. That might be needlessly complicated, but I think I've saved on using pistons over here in the same way. So what happens now is a slight variation. These guys drop down. As they hit this conveyor at the bottom, it gets pushed backwards. Can't go any further because this is in the way. And then the last one comes through and connects it here. Okay, now, where we might have a problem here is how we again, guilty by association, get this thing off of here. But what I'm thinking is, however we do it, it will be triggered by the last one of these tracks coming through. I think is what will happen. Okay, but essentially, this is assembled now. Oops, that's going wrong. That's now assembled. Okay, we've built the middle upside down T-piece with the sensor on the top. Right. In the meantime, over here is where we build the what do you call it? The other set of tracks, the set of caliper tracks. So one thing is something like this, probably fairly simple. I like it simple. Something like that, probably. Actually, you might need two, probably. Let's see if this works. You think I would know by now, but obviously I probably don't. Welded. Welded. And that gets carried away before these two join together. Okay. And actually at that point there, rather than doing that, we might actually flip this around and take it over here. What we want is the two tracks to be separate from each other. Hold on. Yeah, okay, it's not actually gone far enough. We'll put another conveyor belt in here. Because we're going to have to slot these back together again in a minute. Also, I need to make sure this conveyor belt stays out. This conveyor belt is shutting off too soon. See? So what we need is probably an AND gate. I don't want to use AND gates, but I might have to. I think I'm going to use an AND gate to mean that either this triggers this conveyor belt out, or this one does? Probably this one, I'd imagine. I think I'm going to need an AND gate. Let's try something simpler, if we can. If we put a sensor here, that would probably be the place to put it. One of these top-down sensors, that one like that. And then... will this work? An ugly array of pipes going across, or cables if you like. Is that going to work? Too soon, it's missed one. So he needs to be instead here. Keep watching, Dave. Learn something, mate. How not to do it properly is the answer. What you'll learn. This probably won't stay for long enough, will it? We lost the last one. Two sensors. Is that going to be as simple as that? Is that what I need? Because obviously I want the conveyor belt to go back in again as soon as this last... No. How did that not work? Another one? Not that one. That's pretty ugly. Let's getting it working for now, yeah? We'll worry about pretty later. Still missing that... Oh, you know what you forgot? You goddamn idiot. It's a cable connecting the thing on top. Ah, but I need to take it away after that to make it... It needs to go away after this, doesn't it? It's still very well, this little system here, but I need... to be going away afterwards. A bit of fiddling again. Fiddling without thinking, not clear thought, just getting stuff done. But this is going to cause this to go wrong. How do I do this? How? Well, I had just reached a very familiar feeling in Infinifactory, which is, have I just done it all wrong and should I start again from scratch? Sometimes that's a viable thing, yeah? Sometimes you have done something particularly wrong. There's a key thing you've done. For example, the way that the parts come through, I was seriously considering changing things so that rather than the middle T coming through, I was going to do the tracks first and then the middle part. And the reason for this is because I've been having trouble, I've been struggling for a while now, getting the separation between the two parts so that the redirection of the caterpillar tracks over this way, or at least somewhere else other than the main path, from here. Okay, but I think I've now solved it. The timing was a problem. So first of all, I think quite critical, I've increased the gap from between the teleporter and the redirection unit here, the conveyor belt that's here, and I think that's been needed to get more time. I found that up until I'd done this, I wasn't able to keep all of the 6 pieces of caterpillar track going off to the side. I was losing that ability, and I think the gap is quite critical to that. It might be in my imagination, but I think that's correct. And the way this is working is down here there's a sensor that detects one of the very early blocks of the T part that comes in, which is like the second piece? The first piece. Is the first piece that comes through. Come on, get over here. I'm trying to demonstrate something here. There you go. Since it hits that, the sensor pushes out the conveyor belt here and starts redirecting caterpillar tracks. Now, this unit here cannot leave this point at all. Okay, there's nothing within here that will make this move. Sometimes you build things where once the last piece falls, it gets carried away. There is no such thing in this. Okay, it will keep on going until it will fill up, and that's it. Okay, so what we've got instead is where this is controlling what happens to all of these. Then this is the part that, let me get this right, make sure I'm talking about this the right way. I have had a break since you last saw me playing. The last thing, I've had a break overnight. I'm trying to remember what I've done here. So what happens is, I think this piece here. Okay, so the way that we stop this from redirecting all the pieces, because the new ones are coming through, there's not much of it, look, there's only a tiny gap between this unit and the next one, is that the way to stop this working is to move this off of the sensor, and then this will stop redirecting, and the cycle will begin again. And what causes that is this sensor here, yeah, has a little conveyor belt on it again, and what happens is it grabs the front of the T piece and drags it off to the side. Oh, I redirected that, so I did it wrong there anyway. Let's get it through again. Drags it off to the side. There's not many places this can actually leave. Yeah? Because of the way it's jammed in here. But we're trying to keep it all close together. Okay, so we now have, and these have been joined together up here, so we have the 3 components that need to be stuck back together again. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. That's good. And then the cycle will begin again, and it should be okay as long as we get this next part processed fairly quickly. So, next problem. We have an issue because both the caterpillar tracks are on one side of the construction here, the T piece here, and we want one on either side. Oh god, I keep cancelling that. And there's not enough room. In some maps they allow you enough room that you might be able to, drop one of this off the side and sneak it around the back and come in from this side. There wouldn't be time for that, and there's not room for that in here. And I refuse to slow down the cycle of how fast these pieces are being produced. However, what I think is the solution actually comes from something else within the challenge itself. So, first of all, I have tried, by the way, of carrying this across and dropping it over, but the height of this and the time required means it's not really possible. However, there's some other factor to consider here, which I'd spotted earlier, which is that if you look at the front of this here, the front of this unit here, the front and the back are not the same. This has got the one eyeball, this has got no eyeballs. This has got one eyeball. Oh! Actually, I am wrong. Okay. That changes things entirely. I thought that I'd seen that this was backwards. In other words, this would have to leave the level in reverse. But it doesn't need to. It is in the right direction. And I was going to say that what we could do is flip this thing around 180 and stick it on the other side. Now, we'd have to do that, but we have to do something similar. What we're going to do instead is... this is probably going to get kicked off the side. I could just take it that way, actually, couldn't I? Could I simply just take this way? Oh, that would be even easier. Okay, what I was thinking of was flipping this around 180 and then feeding it back into here. Now I realise actually, no, it is around the right way. What I could do is flip this 90, flip this 90, join them together, flip them back once and feed them back in off again. Now I don't like using rotators. They're a pain in the bum. They really, really are. They clash with each other, they clash with other conveyor bolts, they're a difficulty to use. However, I just thought of something obvious here, which is that what we could potentially do is shift this off to over here. This might need a delay on it. It probably will need a delay on it. I don't know. This one still might get kicked off the side. But I think maybe if we put this across to here... can I weld these together here? Could I just weld it and then carry it across? No, I can't. I don't know how to do this yet. This is going to be in the way as well. How many blocks is across here? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing here that projects this in any direction yet, so we could potentially do that. We could potentially have something where... what arrives here first? Okay, what we could do is this arrives here first. This arrives first. We could put a conveyor on here, like here. I wouldn't progress it far enough. Could have a conveyor belt that pushes it across to the side and allows that to drop on afterwards. Don't know. More fiddling around is required, I think, is the answer. Oh my god, I think I've got it. It doesn't quite go far enough. We've got a problem with space over here. I might have to put a block up here to stop this carrying it too far. But I think otherwise we might have it. Oh, it's okay. These tracks are overriding that. So I think we've got it, you know. So now we just got to carry it across to here and then into there. Now the next question, though, with every Infinifactory level is your creation degenerate or not? I don't mean that in a rude way, but I mean, will it break on the... Does it work for one cycle but will not for subsequent cycles? And that can happen. Something has happened that you have not foreseen can happen. We're about to see if another complete one comes out. That's not actually going to line up, but I think it's going to work, you know. I think it's actually going to... This is actually coming into the wrong place because I've put the conveyor belts in the wrong place. They need to be over here. Where they need to be. And of course we need tidying up. But I think we're there, you know. Could I have made this more efficient? Possibly. Do I care? Probably not, actually. Yeah, I could have done something where does it work? It does. I could have done something where maybe it could have come on the other side. I could have fed it around this way. It looks like we're there. I'm actually really surprised by that. I thought I was going to have to spend ages faffing around with rotators and all sorts of things. But my miscalculation, the fact that they weren't so mean as to have this leaving the region in reverse. This isn't too bad around here. I'm sure there are better ways of doing it. Right, so clean-up time. How many of these bits of junk can I remove and it still works? Which is what I've done here. See, this is a way of reducing. The blocks don't. These blocks don't count. How many blocks here and how much footprint? In other words, how much is it sort of top-down view? How much are you going to be using up? So I'll see what else I can remove from. Actually, do these count for footprint? They might do. I'll see how much I can remove and bring you back in a minute. Right, welcome to the new slimmed-down model. I don't think I can reduce it much more than this. Probably, I'm not sure. But this is the same conveyor belts on pillars. And then, could I draw this thing out here? Possibly, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I could probably take out that conveyor there. But reducing the footprint a little bit. Let's go to the other side. Not going to let me? There we go. Right. Over here, some reduction in conveyor belts, especially over this way, but not too much. And just trying to preserve the footprint a little bit. A lot of these things, but again, probably I could take out some of these, because once it's about here, it's one solid chunk. This conveyor belt here, probably I could probably take out some of those, because once it's one big welded piece, it's not going to be a problem. In fact, for example, I could take out those two, and then probably that one. Anyway, the point is it works. And believe me, I'm as surprised as you are as every time about these things, if it works or not. But there you go. How good do you reckon I'm going to be? I'm going to be, as usual, I would imagine, on the edge of average. Slightly, I think I'm usually slightly less blocks than average, I think is what I do. I can't remember. Something I'm slightly better on. I'm not right in the middle of the standard curve. But that's fine. That's just the way it is. I reckon I could make this slightly faster as well with the output. That would make it better as well. But there you go. It's usually where I am. Right about here. Every time. Yeah, the cycles and the block score's actually pretty good. I did all right there. I'm okay with that. I'm an average kind of guy. Anyway, are we still here? We are. We're not into the new station yet, are we? I think this is the next bit here. Anti-javelin satellite. Let's have a little look at it. I've done this. I've looked at this one once before, I think. Oh, it looks very similar. No, it isn't. I have not done this one before. No. I thought I've heard of the javelin thing before, but this is not what I've done. Okay, looks complicated. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to do that one next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.